All right, guys, the results are starting to roll in, and I'm starting to feel some type of way about this device right here. I actually moved my number from my iPhone to this device right here to really get the feel of it. I couldn't really give you a real review of the network and things like that because I do have some concerns about the network, and I wanted to tell you about that. So, but first, let's get into my thoughts after this about a week or so, or a little bit over a week. I posted a 24-hour follow-up because I was really impressed with the battery, and I'm still impressed with the battery. It's actually really solid. So if you plan on getting this device, let me turn on Do Not Disturb. I don't want to have this thing beeping the whole time. If you plan on getting this device, just be mindful that if you have the S23 Ultra, and I just gotta be clear on this. There's lots of videos out there on whether or not you should upgrade, or if this is an upgrade at all. And here's the S23 Ultra, and it's the upgrade, or if you want to say the word upgrade, it's so minimal that I don't really notice too much. And I expected that. Again, I didn't trade in my S23 Ultra. I'm just not giving it up for that low price. I just didn't think it was worth it. But these are both the unlocked models. Obviously, I bought this one last year when it dropped. And then here's the new version right here. Now, at first glance, you really can't tell too much difference here. But ultimately, what you're going to find is that the device is flatter on the sides. It has a flat screen, and it's just a hair more squared off than the previous generation. The bottom, actually, with the S Pen is completely flat now at that angle right there. Hopefully you can tell the difference. The S Pen on the S23 Ultra is almost rounded. It's weird how it bows out like that. And then with the S24 Ultra, it does not. It's just completely flat. So you notice here some things on the S23, the bottom of it, you see some extra holes there. And then you come up here, you see they put the extra microphone hole on the top. So all in all, if you were considering, I wanted to start here, if you were considering that you might get a much better experience than you got with your S23 Ultra, you might not. It's up to you to determine whether or not you feel like you should upgrade or not, or if this is an upgrade at all. Now, reference, I do have a privacy screen protector on here, so if you see it kind of not being able to see the screen, that's what it is. Let's have a clear screen protector on the S23 Ultra. So I want to talk about my experience overall with social media on this, because I did a lot of creating with this device, a lot of recording for my car channel. So if we go here, here's a complete video I did with this device that I put on my car channel, full video, put it up on a tripod, and man, as soon as I want to record, my throat starts getting sketchy. Apologize for that. But yeah, full video done with this device right here. And it's a phenomenal set of cameras on here, but it's nothing special enough to tell a person, oh, you definitely have to switch from the S23 Ultra. These are some photos that I took after I washed my Mustang up. Just random things I've done with it. The quality, here's a full video I shot of the Mustang and posted it to my car channel. The quality of these cameras, it's on point, but I still have some reserves about Samsung's HDR. I don't like it as much as I do for the Apple's HDR. Something about Samsung's HDR, their cameras already oversaturate. And then this video is shot in HDR, and it's really saturated. And then when I put it online, it looks great. People on my car channel are like, man, the car looks beautiful. I'm really getting the gist of, how it's done. I could appreciate what you're doing here with this, whatever, they're liking the video, but I'm focusing on the content and what I used to shoot it. And it was this device right here. It was the S24 Ultra. Now, I have cameras that I bought. Obviously, I have a bunch of action cameras, GoPros, DJI Osmos. I've got a bunch of stuff. I got drones. I got anything I can shoot with. And if I don't prepare myself to go shoot and it's random, I'm going to use what's in my pocket. So I actually keep an external microphone in every car now. So that way, if I do want to shoot on the go, I will get good audio. And this video right here, as you know, where I live at, it is super windy, but I have an external microphone recording this video and a wind filter, and it is actually beautiful. Let me give you a little test of the sound. The active exhaust, and I changed the color of the car, and then changed the... You can't hear any wind, so that is why, you know, shooting with the right microphone setup and then also having a good camera is best. So anyway, this is, you know, I've used this phone to shoot so many videos lately. It's been great. I went to Cars and Coffee. I took the Mustang to Cars and Coffee, and I just did a little clip for social media. Took some photos and things like that. Yeah, all in all, these cameras are going to perform just like, you know, you have with the previous generation. There's not going to be anything spectacular that you're going to be saying, oh my God, yeah, this is definitely an upgrade. So yeah, but social media on this thing is what it is. It's the same as every other experience. I have nothing different to say about it. I just know that if you're planning to get this device in comparison to the S23 Ultra, just remember that the upgrade is so small, you might not even notice, and you might feel like you're wasting your money by switching to the S24 Ultra. And in some cases you are, but then in some cases you're not. So some people might be getting poor battery life on the S23 Ultra. Very rare, but I've found that with the S23 Ultra, you might be getting poor battery life. Rare, but I found with the S24 Ultra, I'm getting even better battery life, and I credit that to the processor inside. That's the only thing I could think of as to why I'm getting better battery life. They didn't do anything spectacular, but you know, when they changed the processor, it's more efficient, and you will get some things that you can notice right off the rip. Like right away, I was like, wow, you know, in the first, like normally when I first get a device, I hammer it hard all day. I beat on it all day because it's new. I'm setting it up, and you know, and typically what I do is I charge it to 100 and then I start the setup process, or I'll have it plugged in during the setup process, and I want to start the usage of the device at 100%. And in doing so, when I did it with this device, I was at 46% in about 20 hours later with about almost 6 hours of screen on time. So it's much better battery life on this thing, and I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised that the battery life is that much better, because this device right here, the S23 Ultra, has phenomenal battery life for me. It's deteriorating. It's getting, the degradation on it is going down, but not, I can barely notice anything on here after a year or however long I've had this. I can't, the degradation on the battery is not very much. So it's still pulling through a day and a half or more with that. But I can definitely tell you with this, I'm able to get 2 days. It's incredible. By the end of the second day, you know, I'm pinching pennies, but I'm barely making it, maybe 10%, 15% left. And then I got to put it on the charger. But I can close out a 2-day run with 7.5, 8 hours screen on time, which is rare in these parts, but it should be like that because of what we're paying for these devices. So I ran the battery test on Visible. So I recently told you I switched my service from my iPhone, and I'm actually recording with the iPhone 15 Pro. If you guys wanted to know what I was using today, the 15 Pro is what I'm using here. Just regular 4K video. Just gonna load this right to YouTube, but I've been impressed with what Visible Wireless is doing on here. It's really solid, man. I have access to their ultra wideband, Verizon's ultra wideband, and you know, speed tests. I ran some speed tests, but I can tell that it's turning off Wi-Fi on here wherever I'm at. It's actually really solid. Let me see if I can. I'm just gonna pull up the speed test here. Let me see here. See if I can run one for you. I'll just do it on the web. Let's see here. See if I get some good numbers. I was getting like 70 before. I was like, whoa, in my house. Oh, there you go. This is pretty good inside the house. Typically, when back in the day, it was horrible over the network, and this is through the web browser as well. Now, if I put it on fast.com, that's another one. You'll see completely different results here. It's gonna be look at the difference here. So it leads me to believe like which one's really telling the truth. So that's why I take speed tests with a grain of salt. All I can tell you is that I'm on Verizon's network. It is phenomenal service. It's phenomenal service. No ifs, ands, or buts, man. It's just great service. So it's strange that the results are so different. Now the upload speeds are given here on fast.com, and it's so strange because the upload speeds on here were around 70 at one point, but I had a 1 point something download or 3 download. It's just what it is. But I can tell you that nonetheless, with all those speed tests and all that stuff aside, this device has been phenomenal on Visible Wireless, which is basically running on Verizon's network. It's great, man. I have no complaints. And again, I wanted to talk about that because I wanted to actually move my service to the phone I'm reviewing. And so I'll leave it here until I just don't want to use it anymore. I might leave it here for good and just, put the iPhone aside. That's going to be tough though, and I'm going to have to probably move to the Pixel 8, if anything, because you know how I feel about the larger phones. So I'll end up carrying both of them because I'll just put this on my Google Fi, and that's what I'll do. I'll move my number back to my iPhone once I'm done with kind of, official review service to you guys, which will probably be at least a month or so. I'll have it over here, but at some point, it'll be 2 phone numbers on here probably when I'm going about, or it'll just be one, which is going to be my Visible and my Google Fi, or my Google Fi and then my Visible will go back to my iPhone 15 Pro if I feel like I'm going somewhere that I just don't want to carry a big bulky device, which leads me to that right there in hand. The size of this device has not changed much at all from the previous generation. This feels lighter though, obviously, because they're claiming titanium, and I can definitely feel the difference in weight in my hands here. This S23 Ultra definitely feels heftier, but the hardware on here is good. No complaints. I do like the flatter design or whatever, but it is still a bulky device. It is still a big, boxy, square, uncomfortable to hold, no matter how big your hands are, device, simply put. And I don't like to use cases, so that's better for me. I just prefer to have the devices out and about like this. This is the way I like to use them because I like to just feel the device. And advantage actually goes to the S23 Ultra when it comes to something like this because of the rounded back and the rounded body. It actually feels better when just holding it like this. It feels better. It feels better just holding it in hand like this in comparison, because this is completely flat on the back now and flat on the front. So you get that even more squared off appeal of this device. Some people love this device for that. I like the device too, but I think in all, if you're going to go big, you need to go with something like a Pixel. It is a nice big display as well. Should make sure it's unlocked here. It is a nice big display. And it is beautiful, to say the least. And this is the way I'm going to go and stay if I opt to start going back to carrying big phones as my primary phone. Because right now I use the Pixel 8 and I rotate that amongst all my other Pixel 8 Pros and stuff like that. But now that I put this in the rotation, this will take the place of those devices for now while I'm in the review phase. But I always say that if you're going to get a bigger device, it needs to have this rounded corners on it. It just feels better in the hand, and there's not as much fatigue when holding the device for a long time. So, Samsung's software, obviously the main selling point is going to be the S Pen. This is something that I have always enjoyed. When people say they don't use their S Pen, I don't understand it. I don't understand why. What else notes? My notes? Oh, it's just stuff on. I don't understand why they would not use the S Pen. I don't understand it. I mean, this is one of the key features of getting a device like this. Not the main reason, but this is just one of the key features that a person should probably be thinking about getting this device or getting some use case scenarios out of it. The S Pen is extremely functional. It is probably one of the top, if not the top, version of a device like this that uses some kind of stylus or S Pen. And I whip that bad boy out all the time because there's always a reason for me to take a note or something. There's just always something. So, yeah, the feature sets on here, the software and everything on here, Samsung is baked in. One UI is just baked full of goodies, and you really can't go wrong with anything with Samsung software. It's actually overkill to the point to where you start to realize, man, do I really need that? And that's maybe why some people don't use the S Pen and probably just forget about it, because they're so intrigued by this beautiful display and all the other things that you can do with this phone, the beautiful cameras, the display again, the battery life, the performance. There's so many things about this device that a person would get this device and say, man, I forgot I had an S Pen. I've actually done that before at one point. I forgot to take my S Pen out for months, and then I need to write something down. I was like, oh shoot, S Pen, so anyway, it's your man Jay, and I think that if you're on the fence about what you should do, I'm a little over a weekend with this thing, I believe, and it's what I expected it to be. Yeah, I didn't trade in my S23 Ultra, and would probably either just keep it now as collecting, or just use it as a backup, just in case of anything, or just pass it on to somebody in the family if they wanted a big phone that the drill. But I really like the device. I'm not mind blown by it or anything like that. It's just what it is. It is a beautiful device, nice hardware, packed with features, beautiful display, excellent cameras, performance on point, software is great, battery life is stellar, with a hefty price tag. And depending on where you get it from, you can get discounts and promos and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, the latest pricing is down below in the links down there. And remember, I got mine for half off because I was willing to wait. I got to do my Google Fi. I just paid the $650 for it. Got the 512 gig model, and it's mine free and clear. Simple as that. I just need to stay active on Google Fi for 4 months, but I've had Google Fi since Project Fi, so there's no reason for me to not pass that test. But that promo's gone. Now I think Google Fi is offering $600 off, and you have to stay with them. Or everybody's promo is going to be different, by the way. There are some people that have promos that don't look like mine. Like, they didn't see the $650 off. Some people did see the $650 off. Some people see 24-month credits if you got to stay. Yeah, it's different. So if you decide to join Google Fi, you're going to get the biggest discounts and stuff like that. But they're probably going to show you the 24-month. You have to stay with them and stuff like that. So it's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed. This thing is great. I didn't expect it to be anything less. But still, after saying all that, I'm going to need Samsung to do something different next year. It's your man Jay. See you in the next one. Take care.